An unseemly number of these good people met with an untimely end. Some of them in the village fete, in the woods, at the hands of fellow club members or a jealous spouse, or simply something they ate or drank. Some of them were even killed here, at the place that they were buried. Had they followed the simple rules of our survival guide, they might still be here now. Better yet, their chances of survival would be even higher had they followed our last and final rule.
The last and final lesson, but also a lesson that has a strange twist in the tale.
Be a murderer, you're not going to die yourself, and you're going to get away with it. I hate to advocate that, but that's the way it is in Midsomer.
Most murderers in Midsomer are caught by us, the police, thanks to our tried and tested investigation techniques. They're arrested and then driven away over the borders, never to be seen again. They're free from Midsomer and its dangers.
Naturally, as a policeman, I would not condone murder, but I have to say, personally speaking, and with my experience, that, yeah, definitely, the one way to get out of Midsomer is to be a full-time murderer, because you're guaranteed to be caught and driven out of the county and put in a jail somewhere else. It's a fantastic way of getting out if you don't want to be killed.
So nice to be welcomed into your home. And this is the final irony. The murderer is driven away alive.
So if you're man enough to murder, you might just get out alive.
The murderers do tend to survive, but then they don't get taken away to kind of like, you know, some fluffy playland where they're allowed to do what they want and eat sweeties and have nice things all day. They kind of, I suppose the idea is you go to a prison where you're locked up in a cell for 23.5 hours a day.
I see you down there. It may be a dangerous place, but fortunately most Midsomer murderers are caught by us, the police, through tried and tested investigation techniques.
But for every murderer taken off the leafy Midsomer streets, there will unfortunately be many more to take their place.
Quentin Rocco was our man after all.
What?
He's just confessed to the murders.
All three?
All three. Seems your first hunch was the right one.
And so it seems only fitting that the last word in Midsomer survival should come from those who actually live there. Some of the residents who have so far managed to avoid a horrible end.
My advice to people to survive in Midsomer would probably be not to live there for a start. If you're going to have to live there, though, stay in, be celibate, don't go into the woods, don't go to a fete, don't go to church. Sorry, but...
I'd say meeting the wife of the tennis coach, who you've always quite fancied, at the village fete, while munching on a piece of somebody's homemade cake, and nipping over to the churchyard for a quick bunk up. It's odds against you'll survive, really. It's just not a good idea.
If I had my time in Midsomer again, I would never let the murderer know that I despised him. I would go on being sweetness and light.
So that's it. The definitive guide to survival in the murder hotspot of Middle England. 7 short, simple rules, well, 6, if you haven't got a stomach for the kill. Abide by these, and even the most foolhardy of you should be safe. That's all from me. Take care.
Coming up.
Suicide in Bledlow, pitchforking in Watlington, stabbing with a paintbrush on the Lee. It's a wonder that anyone's left alive in Midsomer.
Catch Midsomer Murders Map an hour later on ITV3+1.